In this video, I'll explain the 3 main reasons why I succumbed to the pressure of not canceling my pre-order of the base Samsung S20 by going out and actually purchasing this device. A couple weeks ago, when the S20 was officially announced by Samsung, I made a controversial video about why I won't buy the base S20. My 2 arguments was that Samsung did not announce the new Qualcomm, larger and more accurate in-display fingerprint sensor. We're still using the old, outdated fingerprint sensor from the previous generation, the Note 10 and the S10 series. Since the area of the S20 fingerprint sensor is so small, it makes it so difficult to wake up the device and unlock it when the screen is off. On top of that, the fingerprint scanner is just plain slow based on today's standards. It was very difficult to let go of my S9 rear capacitive fingerprint sensor because that was extremely accurate. It had a groove thanks to its case that allowed me to take it out of the pocket, put my index finger on it, and it would have it unlocked as soon as I opened my phone. And I was able to use the rear fingerprint scanner to pull down the notification shade to access my notifications, quick settings, and of course adjust my brightness from within any app, not just the home screen, from within any app that is currently opened. Now, thank you to the YouTube community and all the comments on the previous videos. Even though most of them were very hateful and I got a lot of dislikes on my previous videos, I was able to overcome the shortcomings of this lackluster ultrasonic in-display fingerprint sensor. Some of the video comments suggested to use Face Unlock. I do think this is a perfect solution to the terrible ultrasonic fingerprint sensor that's currently on my S20. However, this is a major compromise to your security. It must be stated that Face Unlock is not as secure as a fingerprint scan. Now, I really value convenience, and I'm going to take this hit in my security, but I think it's a shame that Samsung has pushed its users into a less secure form of unlocking their phone. Now, for losing the rear fingerprint gesture to pull down the notification panel from within any app, I actually found a solution. My solution is to use the One Hand Operation Plus, which is an official app built by Samsung. I'm able to add some gestures towards the bottom of my screen to pull down the notification panel from within any app. Of course, I set the swipe down on the home screen to pull down the notification panel. However, let's say I'm texting in Messenger and I get a notification. I want to quickly access it, or maybe I want to adjust my brightness. I just swipe to the left from the bottom edge and I'm able to pull down the notification. I can also program this app to do a lot of cool commands like open up apps that I use quite often. So this could be used to replace the extra functionality that was provided by the Bixby button on the S9, where it could be programmed to open any type of app. So let's return back to my main point. Yes, I did make a video declaring that I will not buy the S20, but why did I end up actually buying it? Well, to be honest, I was still on the fence. I was still trying to think about maybe should I buy it or should I not buy it, and I was trying to look for reviews online of the base S20. I could care less about the Ultra model, but Samsung did a really dirty trick where it gave all the YouTube influencers, people who have obviously a lot of subscribers and all that stuff, they gave them only the Ultra and they put an embargo on all the base models. So it made it very difficult for average users like us to actually assess whether the pre-order was valid and whether they should go out and buy the S20. In my opinion, this is a dirty marketing tactic employed by Samsung. I think it's totally unfair to the consumers. Now, to be accurate, there were some non-Ultra reviews of the S20, such as the S20 base and the S20 Plus models. Unfortunately, I think some of those reviews were very misleading to the reviewers. Some of the reviews mentioned that the fingerprint scanner had improved significantly from the S10 model. As you may already know, to my demise, this has not been the case for me. And yes, I did try scanning my thumb more than once, and that has not helped at all. In fact, I feel like that has made it less accurate. So I actually went to the Samsung Experience store in downtown Toronto at the Eaton Center, and my intention was to cancel my pre-order. However, the Samsung rep surprisingly changed the deal on me and made it more enticing, so much that I couldn't refuse buying the S20. So this is the first reason why I decided to actually buy the S20, and it's the price. Let me explain how it works out. I want to put a disclaimer, this is for Canadian people only, and everything is going to be priced in Canadian dollars. So is the price of the S20 about the same price as the S10e, which was last year's budget model? Well, let's break down the calculations. So the first thing is the price of the base model, and that's $1,320. It is widely known that in Canada, you can use the SBC student discount, which can be purchased by anyone, even if you're not a student, to get 10% off the retail price. On top of that, you're getting the pre-order bundle, which comes with the Galaxy Buds. And strangely enough, on one day I came into the Samsung Experience store, they just so happened to have an exclusive deal that was trying to match Best Buy's deal that provided a wireless charger pack and an SD card. What's really cool is that the wireless charger pack is from Samsung and it cost almost around $64 plus tax. And the SD card can cost around $35 plus tax. On top of that, the quality of the SD card is pretty damn good. It's rated at class 3, which allows you to record 4K directly onto it. So this is perfect if you have a GoPro and you want to record your videos onto it. Unfortunately, the Samsung S20 does not allow you to record 4K 60 frames onto an SD card. You have to use the internal storage. In my case, I wanted to save money, so I sold my Galaxy Buds Plus for $160 on the secondary market. On top of that, I asked the manager if I could swap the wireless charger battery pack for the protective standing case, which I value a lot more. And of course, you're going to be selling your main phone, which was last year's flagship model. My S9 was valued anywhere from $250 to $300 on the secondary used market. Now, typically Samsung offers a trade-in plus bonus credit. What you can do is you can trade in your current device, get the value of that, which is often very undervalued. So I don't advise doing that if you can avoid it, and some kind of bonus. In the original case, you had to trade in anything above an S7. So the original deal forced customers to trade in a relatively new phone, which would be severely underpriced by the trade-in program. And you would only get $150 bonus trade-in credit. In my case, the S9 was valued at only $150 plus the $150 trading credit. However, when I came in to cancel my pre-order, they apparently changed the deal in so much that you could trade in any type of Canadian phone. Doesn't matter if it's a really old phone like an S3 or S4. And on top of that, you get a $200 trade-in credit. So you can trade in any kind of flip phone and still get $200 credit. This is amazing because I can sell my S9, which is the last year's flagship model, on the secondary market and get the full value out of it, and then just trade in some old phone that I don't use and get $200 off the main price. This is an amazing deal, and I could not cancel my pre-order, and I had to buy the S20 despite all the shortcomings it had. So in the end, the price of the S20 base model ended up being almost around the same price of a new S10e, which is crazy because you can get the latest generation for last year's price of a budget phone. This, I think, was a great deal, and I don't know why they changed their policy. Maybe because of the recent events, they wanted to artificially pump the sales of the new flagship phone. I know that South Korea, which is the place where Samsung devices are created, was really hit hard by the recent events of the outbreak. Which leads to the second point why I think buying the S20 now is a good decision rather than waiting after the pre-order. Due to the recent events, supply chains manufacturers, chip manufacturers, RAM manufacturers might be affected by the recent outbreak. Let's not forget, in 2011, Thailand was hit hard by floods. It devastated the hard drive market, and it drove the price up of hard drives so much because there was so much of a hoarding mentality in regards to hard drives. I'll be honest, I'm a little worried about the recent events and how it might affect future tech supplies. And finally, the last reason why I upgraded from the S9 to the S20 was that I was fed up with my single rear wide-angle lens. I really wanted the triple camera lens. I really value the telephoto lens to give a more compressed look on portraits. Hopefully that is the case when I do a full review. I'm going to be posting a full camera review, video testing samples in my next video. This is the first time Samsung has actually upgraded their main camera since the S7 series. So I really want to benefit this as soon as possible and really enjoy the new cameras. I'm hoping that in my upcoming review that the upgrade from the S9 to the S20 was really worth it. I have a feeling so far, based on my test, that the upgrade is pretty negligible, which is kind of unfortunate, but we'll find out more. So there you have it. Those are the three main reasons why I upgraded from the S9 to the S20. One was the price. It was a fantastic deal and I couldn't refuse it. Second, due to the recent events, I'm worried about the supply shortage. And thirdly, I really wanted to benefit from the triple camera lens and the most recent hardware upgrade as soon as possible. So do I like the S20? Well, yes, I do think it's a really fast phone. It's definitely faster than my S9. And yes, the cameras are definitely upgraded because I only had one camera on my S9. But in terms of the actual picture quality on the main wide-angle camera, I'm not too convinced, but I'll have to test more as I mentioned before. Sadly, I'm really missing the headphone jack. I've actually purchased two headphone USB-C adapters, and both of them have this weird hissing background noise. When I plug in my Quiet Bose Comfort into my S9 using the traditional headphone jack, it actually has no hissing noise at all and it sounds crystal clear. So I'm very depressed about not having crystal clear headphone quality using the USB-C adapter. I'm going to have to look for another one. Maybe it's defective in my phone, or maybe all my USB-C adapters are cheap from Amazon. Please let me know in the comments if you're experiencing hissing noise using the USB-C headphone adapter. Please let me know if you found a solution because it's making me really upset. I just want to close this video and say that my pre-order experience at the Samsung Experience Store in the Eaton Center has definitely improved. I made a whole video about my terrible experience at the Samsung store when I first got my Note 10 Plus during the pre-order event. It was a mess. I was lining up for hours. It was very disorganized and it was really unfair to some people because some people were actually in the back of the queue and they somehow got their Note 10 Plus first. This time there's actual guest list that it's capped 25 people per 1 hour, and they split up the lines and it seemed more or less more equal. It still took 30 to 60 minutes per transaction, and that's due to people financing their phone, people doing device trade-ins, people asking questions, people doing a smart switch from their old phone. I still waited 2 hours to get my phone, which was a really long time, but it just seemed more organized than the last launch. What's nice was the staff was really friendly. They offered us drinks and treats and a latte, which I really appreciated during the long lineup. Some of my viewers suggested that I order the S20 online. I think that's a great idea. However, I wouldn't get all the amazing deals I got in store. So I think waiting in line and pre-ordering in the store is worth it. Anyways, that's it for this video. Be sure to be subscribed to this video for the full review, where I'm going to cover very in-depth camera test and video test.